It is the RIOT podcast. Hello, welcome to Wednesday
Hi,
on the
Hudson.
show. Hi, everybody. Hi, Nikki.
Hi, Isaiah.
Again, now that the pleasantries are out of the way.
So I get to business.
Yeah, let's get down to brass tacks. Whatever that means.
Today on the show, we talked about TikTok and another big achievement. And if you're a fan of TikTok, you probably like it. What seems to be a little bit too much because the watch time is starting to get ridiculous.
Oh, yeah. I wonder if, because you can go in and actually look at your watch time.
Can you?
Yeah, every
no.
site tells on
Actually,
you.
mine would be fine. I haven't watched TikTok very often.
Well, then you're better than us, aren't you?
I in some ways, I wish I used it more.
Yeah.
When now, for some reason, you know what it is? I feel less weird if I'm sitting on the toilet. There's no sound.
Now it's really weird.
There's no sound on Twitter, and there is sound on TikTok.
So that's your TikTok time?
For an hour and a half.
If I'm here at work, sitting in the bathroom,
No wonder.
I don't want people to be waiting in line and be like, "What is going on in there?" So
Why am I heering up to 3-minute clips?
Yeah.
What are we doing?
I haven't seen Hudson like 45 minutes.
why is that guy talking about fishing in the bathroom?
So, yeah, we'll find out, though, if you are, a long-use TikTok user.
It sounds like Isaiah doesn't use TikTok.
I don't really use it all that much. I went through a time like months ago when I used to watch it like nonstop. And then I was like, this is just becoming too much.
Yeah.
And so I kind of cut myself off.
I
But
did
I'll
this-
screw on it when I get really bored.
Yeah.
Well, it's not for me.
I'm the same.
Not
I'm
too
the same
much.
way, but it wasn't like a conscious thing. It's just all of it. Once I stopped posting on TikTok, I stopped watching TikTok.
For
Okay,
me,
now as you're talking about it, I just want to pick up and watch it.
Yeah, I know. Like he's like, no, I'm not like addicted or anything.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
It's not a scary thing for me.
It's just a part of my evening routine.
Yeah, it's part of the routine now. Yeah, it got a little scary for me, but something that's scarier than your watch time on TikTok is a naked woman with a golf cart.
But remember, in this story, the scary thing's supposed to be the guy on the roof with the gun.
Yeah.
Like, that's the scary part. And then in comes someone to steal his thunder.
I know.
Yeah. Well, if it was just the guy on the roof with the gun, according
have
to
heard
how
about
everything
this.
played out, regardless of the naked lady on the golf cart, it wasn't as newsworthy because I think everything eventually settled down without any issues. But you involve a naked lady on a golf cart,
People
that's
are
going to make the
talking.
news. Yeah, it's got people talking.
People are talking about the naked woman. And of course, it's in Florida, too.
Of course.
Yeah.
So we didn't have to say that
Actually,
because you already know.
It was a very Florida-centric show today. They got a lot
Yeah.
going on down there right now.
We also talked about since it's now past Labor Day, that means we're into the fall.
Hey.
And nothing means fall like pumpkin spice.
Yeah, what
That's
else
true.
can we pumpkin spice?
I feel that actually, so it was, what is it? Honey Baked Ham has a pumpkin spice turkey.
Yep.
And I think Honey Baked Ham is behind the times. They need to get the apple crisp turkey. What are they doing?
The apple crisp. Now that I can get behind.
Really?
Oh,
That
an
sounds
apple
way
Actually, it does
better.
sound
ham,
really, really
too?
good.
Oh, that sounds really nice.
A little bit of cinnamon.
Actually, does anybody actually there has to be a recipe for this, right? You cut up like some apple slices
Yeah.
to put
Yeah.
in the bottom of the turkey, like in the thing where all the
cavity.
drippings go. Oh, in
Yeah,
the cavity.
the cavity.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Make
yeah.
it with your stuffing, your dressing.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
Or you
Cinnamon
take it
apples.
like the butter when you shove it under the skin. You can shove,
apples under the skin.
Yeah.
This poor turkey's like, what are we doing?
I know. Apples now? When does it end?
You're humiliating me.
When does it end? Where do we draw the line?
Stop stuffing me.
Yeah, exactly. We also talk about what seems to be trending pretty much nonstop is now not going to be on social media, and that is K-pop band BTS. So I swear, whenever I get on Twitter,
Yep.
trending BTS, I'm like,
Same
I don't
way.
even
It's
know.
the only
I'm the
thing.
same
I know
way.
what it is, but I don't like listen to the band, or I'm like a follower of it.
Do you do what I do when you see it on it trending on your Twitter? And I click the little 3 dots that says not interested in this.
interested.
It
And no
doesn't
matter
matter.
how
No.
many times
Dude,
they're like,
Twitter
I know you're not
knows.
interested in K-pop, but what about J-pop?
Yeah.
K-pop, like Twitter knows K-pop is keeping it afloat.
Yeah.
This isn't about Twitter, it's about something else.
Yeah.
So see what everybody thinks about that.
In China, they the government clicked the 3 little dots and
Yeah.
said,
Not
this
interested.
trend is harmful or spammy is the other option. And yes, that's what they clicked.
and they take it away.
Yeah.
Well, enjoy the podcast. podcast today. Thank you guys for listening. And as always, please consider leaving a review. If you want to subscribe, if you've not subscribed before, or if you unsubscribe and subscribe again, then that helps us get pushed out to more places.
Yes.
So think about helping out.
Yep, that review, that 5-star rating. We love them.
That's right.
Really do.
Love them.
Five apples or 5 pumpkins.
Yeah.
We would love to see
5
it.
turkeys.
Bye, guys.
It is the riot. Goodbye.
Hudson, Nikki, The Riot on Radio U.
So let me set the scene for you. You've got police. You've got an armed teenager on a rooftop.
Okay.
And they're in a standoff, an armed standoff.
That sounds tense.
Yep, it's in Florida. And all of a sudden comes driving through in a golf cart, naked lady.
A part of this or just driving through?
Just not connected to the situation whatsoever. Yeah.
Oh, that must have been weird.
Not that we know of.
Like she wasn't trying to distract so the guy can get away.
I don't think so.
She was just driving naturally naked.
She just happened to be naked.
Oh, wow.
Happened to be on a golf cart and happened to be in the same area as the armed standoff.
It happens, I guess.
Yeah, it does. At least in Florida, it feels. Unless maybe
they were like, officers had their hands busy and they were just busy with both of the problems now. One had nothing to do with the other.
If you're, I don't know what the police training handbook would say for this type of thing, but I think if you're in an armed standoff, you just let the naked lady go, right?
It depends. I'm looking at her mugshot for it, and if that's the same lady, she looks pretty harsh. Seems like she had quite a lot going on there.
Yeah, I don't know. And then I thought, what if they're trying to what if it was the police that came up with this, and so they're trying to distract the teenager to see it, to try to get him to let his guard down,
I think everybody...
That would be a new tactic.
I think everybody was probably on edge.
You think?
They say that her actions and inability to follow directions put deputies at risk for potentially getting shot at because they couldn't just focus on the other thing going on, the guy with the gun on the roof.
Right.
And they managed to get her out of the golf cart. They handcuffed her, and she had been drinking. They say an odor of alcohol had been coming from her, and she was, naked.
Man, I would just be like, you know what? When I'm in an armed standoff, I'm going to just say, naked lady, it's your lucky day.
No, she was drinking, though. So, she was golf cart driving.
How much damage can you do in a golf cart?
You can. Yeah. You'd be surprised.
Yeah, more probably damage to yourself.
Yeah, that's true. And then they're responsible. So.
Yeah. I just, the other thing, looking at her picture, you expect, one, because it's in Florida, and two, naked people.
How old, you mean?
Yeah, I was thinking it's going to be some grandma that's escaped the,
Leisure World?
Right. And it turns like she was really having a really leisurely day. But it's actually a younger woman, which is surprising.
So awesome because you're like, is that grandma? She's out again.
No, not on the news.
It was 28-year-old Jessica Smith of Boston, Massachusetts. And she was there maybe on vacation or maybe moved there. But that's where she's from.
Wow. So you just, if that happened anywhere else, you wouldn't expect it. In Florida, it's just like, naked people on a golf cart in an armed standoff. It sounds about right.
Guys, not with the sun now.
Yeah.
You don't want to have problems later down the road.
The tan's going to be so even, though.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Just to be the police of guys, we got something else going on, too. It's a lot.
I wonder which police officers they were like, trying to debate amongst themselves. All right, I'll stick here with the standoff. You deal with the naked lady. And they're fighting over it.
People are like, the naked drunk lady who was driving the golf cart. None of it's fun.
No.
None of it.
We need the body cam footage of this one.
Oh, yeah. No, that's a lot of probably blur. You ever see the body cam footage and they have to blur it?
Yeah.
The one time
it's a lot of work for that guy.
The guy blurred the
whole
whole
sensor.
screen.
Yeah.
It's why even put this video out?
We just get the audio.
Yes, that's all we're getting.
The Riot Podcast. Radio U.
Nikki, name one famous Boy Scout.
Boy Scouts?
Yeah. Can you?
I don't know anybody who was a Boy Scout.
No, it's
Were
a dead
end.
end.
Were you not one?
No, I was not.
Listen, I don't know. Maybe.
You know what? I did.
Isaiah, Were you a Boy Scout in there?
Isaiah seems like he might have been a Boy Scout. I think it's a possibility.
I mean, Boy Scouts are still a thing, and Girl Scouts are still a thing, right?
They're still a thing. And I'm sure, you know what? Even though we can't name a famous Boy Scout, that doesn't mean it's a dead end. It might lay the groundwork for you for future success.
Well, actually, this guy does seem very successful.
Yeah. You know what?
It seems like this individual has done more than we will ever do.
He goes all out. When he's doing something, he does it all the way.
And they're saying that he wants to be like a doctor, and you're like, yeah, after you hear about everything he's done, I could see that happening.
He's just not just going to do one surgery. He's going to learn. He's not just going to be like an ophthalmologist and just look at eyes. He's going to do all of the body parts.
All of it.
His name is Omkar Tamani. He's 16 years old. He's in Forsyth County, Georgia, and he has earned all of the merit badges.
So all 137 Boy Scout merit badges. He is one of less than 500 people in history who have ever achieved this.
Well, less than 500. What? Is that what you said? 500?
One of less than 500 people.
That's surprising that many people have done it.
I know, but I guess if you think of history, maybe that counts when Boy Scouts was an earlier organization.
And they had less badges.
They had like 20.
Yeah.
So they still get the award, but it's not the same now when you have more badges.
Yeah, man. And when you go through the badges, we have no idea about Boy Scouts, what they're doing. I thought they're, out there hiking and making like fishing, learning how to make fires and stuff.
I think they still do, but there's other stuff.
But they also have theater badges. Didn't you say nuclear? What was that?
There was some other science ones.
Nuclear. I mean, just like totally not stuff you would connect with the Boy Scouts. I mean, they have to have that to get to 137 badges.
They were just filling in towards the end.
Yeah.
They were just adding one. So for him, one of the few people in the 111 years, 110 million scouts in the history of the organization. Mm-hmm. So if you think about how many Boy Scouts and Cub Scouts and all that stuff, that's quite an accomplishment. His last one, never would do this, but he did. Spent 14 days with his troop camping in New Mexico.
Oh, wow.
They went on a backpacking trip, and that got him his last one.
That's why most people don't get to the 137 badges because they don't want to spend 14 days backpacking in New Mexico.
Went camping the other day.
Uh-huh.
He camped outside of his house.
Yeah, for one night, and that was enough. That was enough.
I don't see you getting some sort of merit badge for that.
Where's my merit badge?
I camped. I stayed out one whole night.
You have to wonder what this guy. He's now got. It's surprising that you can fit all of those merit badges on the sash.
Yeah, he's 16, by the way.
And I wonder, is he just going to wear this sash for the rest of his life? Is he going to be like 30 years old out there still rocking the sash?
So he wants to study medicine. Like if I went in and I became a doctor then, I'd be like, look at my doctor coat. Uh-huh. Look at all my badges on my doctor coat.
Hopefully they're all sterile or whatever.
Well, he seems very motivated and a very driven 16-year-old, which is great. I'm sure he knows a lot of things.
Yeah, he knows more than we do.
If you're looking for hot takes on the day's most important news stories, you're in the wrong place. You're listening to The Riot on RadioU.
Nikki, you know about BTS, right?
Well, I think everybody does, even if you don't listen to K-pop.
No, I think surprisingly, as internet as they are for us, I think there's a surprising amount of people that have no idea what BTS is.
You think so?
In the U.S.? Oh, yeah.
Well, I think even if you don't necessarily, like you've heard the name, like you ate at McDonald's when they had the thing. It's the only thing for me that trends like anywhere.
Yeah, it's always trending on Twitter, but
I can't get any other news.
I just feel that if we asked our moms, they would have absolutely no idea.
Oh, yeah. Well, maybe that's true.
Yeah. Like there's a lot of people, even though my mom is very online in her own way, there's a lot of people it's a totally different separate world. But BTS in its world is huge. And you don't want to spark the ire of the BTS fan base. And that's what they've done in China. They have banned a BTS fan account.
Dude, the fan account had that many people? For illegally fundraising. The fan account had 1.1 million followers on
a Chinese social media site called, you know how to pronounce it?
I think it's Weibo, but it's
Weibo?
basically their Twitter.
Right. So they've
Because they can't have Twitter because China said no.
right. Because they can't censor Twitter.
But they can
so they're
censor their
censoring
own.
Weibo.
That's how they
and
do
so
it.
what they've done is they've banned this Twitter account, this Weibo account, for 60 days for what they say is illegally fundraising after this account, get a load of this, was able to earn enough money, fundraise enough money to create a custom airplane for one of the members of BTS, which I guess we never explained if you aren't in that world. BTS is a K-pop boy band kind of group.
Yeah.
And so they're hugely popular, especially over in Korea and stuff. And in Japan, China, very popular as well. They're so popular on Weibo that they were able to fund a customized airplane for one of the members of BTS to celebrate his 26th birthday.
So they'll do that as like like Hudson. Say, we loved you so much and your birthday, and we made a billboard.
I'll be lucky if I get a little tiny toy plane.
Like, you might get a cake, that's it.
Yeah.
Or like they'll plant a whole forest of trees.
You know what? I think I'd prefer...
The cake
I think
or
I'd
the
prefer a
trees?
cake with a plane on it. Can we do that?
You could. I'll work on that for you. Let's see how your fan club does with its funding. But basically, I read an article about this a bit ago, and they were saying in China, they like to have control over everything.
Yeah.
And they say that for the entertainment industry and for bands and for, like, say, actors who get too popular, they want to clamp down on what they call irrational behavior.
Yeah.
So spending money on someone who's famous as a fan, they want to clamp down on that because they want to have a tighter control over the businesses, the education, the culture, the religion, every single thing when it comes to China. They want to have control over it. And if you're spending all your money on a famous person, they don't want you to. They don't want you to idolize that person. They want you to idolize their government.
Yeah, they actually...
No one can be higher than that.
Right, and they've been really cracking down on it lately. We talked recently about how they have reduced the access for children to be able to play video games online all the time to basically almost nothing. And they've also been taking some other efforts to further their control over what's on TV and whatever. And sometimes, like, I'll be honest, as a sensible adult, when you're like, they're banning this thing from fundraising to create a custom plane for this celebrity, you're like, I get if it was a truly pure in heart action that the Chinese government was taking, you could agree with it. But then again, that's not really it shouldn't be the government's job. And that's what makes America great, is that we're free to act as stupidly and amoral as we want. And the government doesn't stop us.
I almost see you raising a flag right there. But it is what they call a crackdown on just basically, again, if anything is more popular than the government, they don't want you to celebrate what is more popular.
Yeah, but the problem is for them, we're going to see the cat might already be out of the bag. As in, like, it might be too late. If they are getting a customized airplane for this guy, there's already...
Well, they're not buying the plane. They're just, like for the outside.
Yeah.
They're making it like a billboard on the plane.
Expensive.
It is expensive, but I think the bigger thing for us here, we're like afraid if you would make someone mad, like a fan base that mad. Chinese government doesn't care.
No.
Because they'll just censor any of that stuff too.
They know they can't get canceled.
I know. They're like, oh, you want to say something bad? All right, well, I'll just take that off.
Yeah.
So.
It was bad enough the first time around, but now it's worse. Don't believe us? Just keep listening. You'll find out soon enough. This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Have you checked the tracking on the Nashville Hot Cheetos yet?
Oh, you know what? That's a good question. So we want to try for our next food fight the Nashville Hot Cheetos, which were only available at Dollar General and the Circle K.
Or for $14 on Amazon.
I didn't think that was that bad. The Circle K near us had like nothing. They didn't even have these Cheetos. They had like not even normal Cheetos.
Yeah.
There's like some rash on snack foods. It's all we can eat. And then you said the Dollar General didn't have
It
any.
had plenty of snacks. It did not have the snacks that we wanted.
This says arriving September 9th through the 13th.
You paid
$14.
$14, and it's taken them a week to deliver it.
I think that's because when you buy sometimes these things from other parties, they're like, well, we have to find it first, too. So it doesn't ship right away.
You should ask for a refund.
Listen, I like Cheetos. I really want to try these.
Yeah.
So I was fine to pay the over-bloated price on Amazon.
Think about how many bags of regular Cheetos we could have gotten with that. We could have got like 4.
I want to try it, and then I know what'll happen. The second we get them, someone will be like, but there's a whole display.
Yep. Oh,
you missed it. They're all out. And then on Monday, we want to try the new Mountain Dew flavor.
Oh, yeah.
It's an apple one. Let's see, what is it called? It's not like a sour
Wasn't
apple.
it like thrash apple or something?
So
something
Mountain
like
Dew.
that? Apple thrash? I don't know.
Let's see, thrash apple. It's only at Kroger and I think like Ralph's and stuff. Yeah, thrashed apple.
Thrash.
Will be the new Mountain Dew exclusive flavor. It's a crisp apple flavor because apple's all this. That's like the trend. So everything has to be apple, and that comes out on Monday. So we're going to send Isaiah out then to see if we'll get that for next week.
Apple really is the trend, isn't it?
Yeah, if you're doing pumpkin, you're doing it all wrong.
You're so behind. Well, you know what's funny?
What about apple pumpkin? What about
Ooh,
both?
combine them?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think there's a good reason. I don't know what it is. I think there's a good reason we don't see that.
It's
or
not
somebody else would have done it by now.
It's not like it's a monster. It's just apple and pumpkin together. I think that would taste pretty good.
Apkin?
Yeah.
Pumple?
Okay. Someone in the marketing world is like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Starbucks is like, we could put both
It's our
drinks
new.
together.
Yeah. Oh, that's got to be a TikTok hack drink, doesn't it?
Yeah, probably.
Dude, I'm actually going to use the last of the gift card I have at Starbucks.
You still
and I'm
haven't
going to
used
use it to do a viral TikTok where I make a Pumple crisp spice.
Perfect.
And people are going to love it. And I'm going to be so popular.
Dude, you'll be viral. Don't forget us when you become so
And the
famous.
baristas will hate me.
Because you start a terrible trend.
Yeah.
So a lot of food fight items, some overpriced, some hard to find.
Store at room temperature? Now that they can do. The Riot RadioU.
Florida man who planted a banana tree in the middle of the road.
Oh, in the pothole?
Yeah, he did it. He went ahead and did it. This is his name is Brian Raymond, and it's kind of seems like a he said, they said type of thing, where he says that there's a bunch of potholes out in front of his business in the Pinellas County, Florida, and this is Tampa, Florida. So in Tampa, Florida, and the county says, well, it's not our job to fix the holes. It's your business's job to keep your customers safe.
Was that right?
That's what he says. That's what he says they say.
I thought, if it's like the road in front of your business.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not talking the parking lot.
Well, it's hard
is the
to
road.
It's hard to tell from the picture, and it's not actually in the news story. They're not like he filled the pothole on this road.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if it is like a back alley or something. But he says he's tired of filling in all the holes himself with cement. So for this one, he filled it with a banana tree so that it would be very obvious for his customers to see and not drive into it.
A lot of people love it because, who doesn't have an area near them with potholes? I'm looking at you, movie theater near us.
Yep.
Your whole parking lot is a pothole.
If they planted banana trees in every pothole, we wouldn't be able to get into the movie theater.
Because
we
there's
need
so many.
What do you call it? A machete to just like chop through and be like driving through the wilderness.
There's so many potholes near us that if they just, you would just be better than to fall down into one giant pothole.
Yeah.
Just park in there, climb out, and then get into the movie theater.
Yeah, then try to avoid all of them. But
there's too many.
What I found, though, recently around my house is sometimes when you think you want the road fixed, and then when they actually start fixing it, you realize you really don't.
Yeah.
Like you be careful what you wish for, because it's an inconvenience to have to drive around all of these potholes. But when it takes them so long to fix the road, and then they strip it up, and then the whole road is a pothole, and then they just leave it for a few weeks, and then they finally repave it.
Hudson, I'm impressed because in other areas they just fill in the pothole part only, and so they're not fixing the road; they're just prolonging the problem.
It just depends on how bad it's gotten.
Yeah,
and
I want someone to put a banana tree. That'd be great.
Yeah. You think?
Well, yeah, if it could grow and then we could have
Then bananas?
all that work for like 2 bananas that come from the tree. 20 years from now, you're finally going to get a banana from the tree.
This one is not a flowering banana tree or whatever, So.
But it is important. Like, you have to be careful because it can really wreck your car.
Oh, yeah.
So that's why if you're sick and tired of them and they're not fixing them, and it seems like he tried to fix them on his own for so long. It's a great idea. Plant something else there.
I wonder what happens when
someone hits the tree.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. It's not that. Okay, the pothole can't be that deep, and he just planted the banana tree, and the banana tree doesn't look that fully formed.
Oh, you don't think it'll grow?
No, I don't think so. I don't know how banana trees work, but it doesn't feel like there's a lot of room for the roots. And I just think a car could just knock it over and it probably wouldn't even damage the car.
I think just give it one nighttime.
Yeah.
And then you've damaged your car more by hitting the banana tree than you would have by going into the pothole.
Well, yeah. I that's what I'm thinking. I think the banana tree might not be as bad as the pothole.
Welcome to The Riot, where you listen to us and that's it. It's pretty much a one-way street. The Riot. Radio U.
Where we may be sometime soon doing a honey-baked ham taste test.
What do you think, Isaiah?
I think this looks terrible.
You do?
What?
I think this looks awful. These flavors just don't mix. I don't think it looks good at all.
I think you're wrong. Well, it's not a ham, though. It's a pumpkin spice glazed turkey breast. And that is the pumpkin spice offering from this place called Honey Baked Ham.
Yeah.
Which I've known to have a ham or two during the holidays. You know, if you have a family member who does that. But this, I think, looks pretty good. Why can't we order a turkey for a food fight?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And that wouldn't be bad. A turkey in the morning.
Think about it, though. Like, you've had... It could go good on a croissant, don't you think? A bagel?
A bagel for
I don't
the
know.
breakfast?
Nice pumpkin spice turkey on a pumpkin spice bagel?
Mm-hmm. I think it'd be
that.
fine. So it's a glaze with pumpkin spice flavor and then a sweet and crunchy topping that is on top of it.
I'm learning so much about honey baked ham right now because there is one nearby.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be where the new Shake Shack is. It's next door.
Oh, there's already one near my house.
Oh, there is?
I didn't realize.
Really?
But see,
Hey.
I didn't know that, like, I guess.
They sold ham.
Well, I'm looking at it, and it's like this is you don't go in and eat.
No, you used to. They used to have, like, you could get, like, a sandwich. And then, I'm not saying my parents used to like that sort of thing. But, like, parents would go and get a sandwich or a meal. And then, I don't know if, like, COVID stopped that, but you otherwise will just go in and get just food from them and take it.
Because the way their website looks, it looks like it's really... Like, you know how you can get catering from Bob Evans or Cracker Barrel or
It's
whatever
like
for the
that.
holidays.
Yeah.
But they just do that all the time, and that's all they do, and they just have a storefront for it, which is super weird. But
I think that's a great idea.
You
I would
do?
pay for that every night. That sounds amazing.
The only problem is, like, if you go in there, and this just could be us being younger, but, like, we've not bought a whole ham.
Yeah.
So we don't know, like, a whole turkey is larger.
Yeah.
It's more than we spend on our food budget. So it is more expensive,
But
which is why you got to get your parents to get it.
It does sound good, but I also feel that I would prefer if it was a pumpkin spice ham over turkey.
Me too. I
That'd be
agree with
good.
that.
Maybe they'll do that too. Or
but
maybe you could just ask.
I don't know. Can they? Is the glaze just that
Yeah, they
interchangeable?
can just toss that on there,
Do you
right?
think?
Did you know these are made off-site?
If you buy at the grocery store, if you buy a big ham, right, it comes with a lot of times the maple glaze, like it comes with the flavor packet that you dump on.
This is already on.
Yeah.
there.
So, but what if they have the flavor packet at Honey Baked Ham
You
and
just
you can
toss
just
it
buy
on there.
Yeah,
That
just
could
like,
be good.
instead of handing me the flavor packet that goes for the turkey. Or instead of handing me the ham flavor packet, give me the turkey pumpkin spice flavor packet.
Now, isn't ham if you make that, you could just put soda on it like a Coke?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's how people make it a lot of
Yeah,
times.
my parents have done that.
So we need to get, what I'm hearing here is we need to get someone's parent to get the turkey.
Yes.
Okay.
There's not a chance that
Okay,
we
maybe.
know we'd walk into a Honey Baked Ham and we'd be lost.
We can't
Oh,
order.
yeah.
We'd think, can I order one sandwich? And they'd say, no, we don't do that.
A whole ham is the only way.
We need to have a mom from the group get us that and make our doctor's appointment. So those are the two things that they need to do too. But then we can try the pumpkin spice glazed turkey from there.
The holidays are coming up. Mm-hmm. So this could
we
be...
can have a Riot Thanksgiving.
I wonder if it'll be around for Thanksgiving. That would be so cute.
All right, well, who wants to ask their moms?
I don't know.
My mom lives far away, so
I'm still not sold on this either. I don't think it's going to be good at all.
Pumpkin and turkey?
No, I feel like that's such a weird mixture. How would that taste good?
Have you ever had turkey and then a pumpkin pie?
Yeah, but it's separate. It's so separate.
Well, then I don't know how you're eating. You're supposed to put it all on the same plate.
Mix it all up, your turkey, your pumpkin pie.
Think about the other stuff we've eaten on this show, and you're drawing the line at pumpkin spice turkey.
Listen, I would try it, absolutely. But it'd be one of the many things that we've tried that I just don't think I'd like.
You know what's,
all right, Isaiah,
you know what's sad?
We'll get you a gallon of milk, too.
Okay. Now we're sweetening the deal.
Okay.
Hey, while we're at it, how about some pumpkin spice hot dogs?
Oh, we could do that, too.
That's an idea.
Another thing.
Get on it.
You might be thinking that this won't be quite as bad the second time around. Well, you'd be greatly mistaken. You're listening to the worst of the Riot podcast.
TikTok has passed in the United States on Android, has passed YouTube to have the most time spent watching on videos.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a lot.
People watch TikTok for longer on your Android phones in the U.S. There's a lot of qualifiers.
Than YouTube.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's
a lot.
It's according to an analytics firm called Annie. They've been keeping track of this kind of stuff. And actually, TikTok first passed YouTube in the U.S. back in August.
Yeah.
And so they've kind of been going back and forth since then. Well, yeah. So I guess that was a year ago, right?
And they said in June of this year, its users watched over 24 hours of content per month compared to 22 hours and 40 minutes, which was for YouTube.
Yep.
So they're just showing some differences in the UK and the United States. And like you're right, month after month, it seems like people would be going back and forth between if YouTube would be the champion or if TikTok was.
Yeah, and that's just for Android phones. So I think that's important to note because I know for me, I watch TikTok on my phone occasionally, but for YouTube, a lot of times I'll cast it on a TV or watch it on a computer or whatever because it's just more...
Well, if you cast it, it should still count.
Yeah, you think?
But if you're watching it somewhere else, then it does not.
Yeah, so I don't know. But
thank you, Nikki, for that. You're welcome.
Yes. But you can't cast TikTok.
No.
So that's even more impressive for TikTok.
And TikTok has become, I was joking when I said, it's like our news, but it really is. Like during all the hurricane stuff, man, I got more in-depth news coverage from TikTok than any sort of news outlets. You just get more information that way.
Well, they say that that's one of the reasons that that TikTok has found so much success is because the videos are short, so you just keep flipping through them. As much as they keep trying to change that, you can just keep scrolling through, and then also it's authentic content and
from
live streaming, right? So you're seeing more so on YouTube now. I feel it's more the channels that have an that are making advertising money, and so they're putting more budget into their content and making it more high quality. But on TikTok, you're just getting real stuff.
Yeah, on YouTube, they're just trying to make it long enough to get more ad revenue.
Yeah.
So it's just become too long. Chris just texted in and says, goes to show you that Android users have shorter attention spans than the obviously more intelligent iPhone users.
Really?
Oh, Chris.
That's tough to say because I think Nikki's using a lot of TikTok in here.
Wait, what are you saying then?
I don't know. If he's trying to insult.
No, he's saying that we're the intelligent iPhone users.
I know, but in saying that, he's also saying that using TikTok makes you unintelligent and have a short attention span, which you do.
Well, kind of.
So you can't have it both ways.
Listen, Chris, Hudson, everybody, we can all watch TikTok as much as we want on any phone device that we want.
That's absolutely right. Hey, we don't even know. We don't know if TikTok has surpassed YouTube also on Apple phones.
Yeah, I
we don't know.
They weren't a part of that at all.
Yeah, maybe just this app or this firm or whatever that was keeping track of this doesn't keep track of iPhone data for some reason.
Isn't that nice? They're keeping track of you. Yeah. And what you watch and how often you watch and everything that you watch.
It's better not to think about it.
They saw that you watched that TikTok like 25,000 times.
Yeah. They don't, I don't want to think about it.
If you missed out on the next Riot moment when it originally aired, you don't know how lucky you are. You're listening to the worst of the Riot podcast.
You never hear about a gender reveal party that just goes off and everything is calm
Well, they do if they're a part of it. But I think we weren't invited.
No,
so
yeah.
We only hear about the tragic ones or like just the ones that you wonder if they're a setup for a viral video.
Right.
But otherwise,
Well,
I'm sure they happen all the time.
I think in an ideal world, at least for the people planning every gender reveal party, they all want them to go viral.
Sure.
No matter how small time it is. It's just like, but it's so sweet and this is our big moment and wouldn't it be great if it went viral? But it never goes viral for the right reasons. That's for sure. And that's what's happening with this gender reveal party in Murfreesboro, Tennessee, which I never feel like I can say that right. It's a mouthful. Murfreesboro, Tennessee, where the 911 was called because around the time of this gender reveal party, 3 gunshots were heard. And it turns out that was from the gender reveal party.
Oh, and they say screaming also.
Yes.
Oh, no.
But nobody knew that it was from the gender reveal party at the time. So they also had to, because there were schools in the area and stuff, they had to lock down the schools.
Oh, that went really bad.
Because, they didn't know if there was an active shooter or anything. So, no, it was just the excited dad.
Oh, they found out that it was a boy, but the guy had shot off a gun then?
Yeah, I guess. You know how it is. You get excited. You go all Yosemite Sam.
Okay, wait. Do you think though that because it doesn't really say how would you shoot the gun? Is it like blue powder comes out, or was he really just shooting in celebration?
That's what I don't know. We don't have video that I know of. I'm sure somebody there had to be filming, right?
All it says is that the father shot his gun into the air in honor of the baby-to-be.
Yeah, so I don't...
You're not supposed to shoot your gun in the air.
No, you're definitely not. I think that might be... I've never taken a gun safety course, but I think
that's pretty obvious.
They don't even need to cover that in the gun safety course.
And I guess, not just like for Texas, but I expect that to be like, okay, Texas is okay with it.
Yeah.
It happens there, but in Murfreesboro, Tennessee, I guess I just didn't think that.
Yeah.
You shoot the gun in the air.
I'm not sure if it was they revealed the gender by shooting the gun, or the way it's described, it makes it sound like he was so excited, as if it was a girl, maybe he wouldn't have shot the gun off. I don't know. But
so they say that the father went outside, fired 2 9mm bullets into the air because he was so excited. The mother shrieked in response, and so the officers have charged the man with a misdemeanor for unlawful discharging of a weapon within city limits.
Sheesh. So, you can't do that. You can't shoot it off into the air.
Well, first, congratulations.
Right. Yeah.
Second, you can't do that.
Yeah! You were one of the lucky few who missed the riot when they were live. Yet here you are.
I also like to live dangerously.
This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
If you want to get out to Delaware County, Pennsylvania, you could come on down to Moes Tavern.
Moes Tavern.
Moes Tavern. As in
like The Simpsons?
Mo from The Simpsons, yeah.
Is it a...
It's good.
Is it a...
Yeah.
First, you just always remember those things.
Yeah.
Is it like an official thing? Or
it
like
is.
When they turn the 7-Elevens into the stuff? Or?
You know what? I don't think it's actually official.
It's a rogue tavern?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think that The Simpsons is actually involved in this, but who knows? But I don't know.
It says it's supposed to be a real life replica.
Yeah.
How could you do that if you didn't have their permission?
You'd be surprised.
It's presented by a pop-up company,
Yep.
and they're saying that people can cosplay as your favorite character from The Simpsons.
Yep.
And it'll have a Simpsons themed menu. Like there'll be Homer's chicken tenders. I think some of this is a stretch.
Right, because they just... It's not like they're recreating food from the show or anything like that.
Everything's a tender. Marge's spicy fried tenders and Lenny's grilled tenders.
And just putting the name of a character from the show in front of tenders doesn't make it Simpsons themed. But nevertheless, it does have a lot of aspects that do actually look like it's the Moes Tavern from The Simpsons.
Yeah.
It's definitely got those windows you would always see in the background. They said that in the Simpsons show, it was like a joke kind of, or a theme that they only had 6 bar stools at the bar because there was only 6 regular customers, and no, there would never be more than that in there. But they had to expand that because that wasn't quite enough for a real life restaurant. So they did have some attention to detail, I think, in the actual making of it. But it's still like, if you look at the pictures, it doesn't look like it's anything that would require official licensing for them to make. You know what I mean?
That's why everything's kind of slightly off. But the guy who's putting it together, he's calling it these are some of the key words that you think they're skirting around, because they call it an installation of Moes Tavern. So you'll find a lot of stuff that's kind of like a replica.
Yeah.
He tried to inject, he said, as much of The Simpsons into it. But I feel like when looking at his wording, they did not. Like, it's not an official Simpsons thing.
It actually looks, in a way, like they just kind of like they printed out the windows from the again, like the print of the windows, the stained glass windows that would be in the actual Moes Tavern, and they put that on, and then they're like, if we just name everything Simpsons in here, then we can call it a Simpsons Tavern. And it's I don't know if it's a long story, and it looks like they tried to put some, I mean, from the quotes from the guy who's in charge of it, he seems to have a very depth of knowledge of The Simpsons.
Well,
that's not to be questioned, but did he put all of that into making this restaurant really an authentic Simpsons experience? That I don't know.
So they're saying that this isn't the only one. There were 2 bars in Texas that planned to move into a Moes Tavern and a Krusty Burger last year or earlier this summer. But I don't know if that took off anywhere. So for him, this guy, he said he just got into the pop-up restaurant business, and that's what he does. He goes around and opens up pop-up restaurants that have a theme to them.
That are very, quickly done.
You've made it all the way to the end of the Worst of the Riot. This show only exists because of support from listeners like you. Find out more and help out at RadioU.com/donate.